In this video, I'm going to show you how to make 100K a year using one Instagram profile that doesn't even belong to you. And the beauty in all of this is you don't need any prior experience. And I say this because I did just that, right? I had no experience and I figured it all out. I was able to make 100K a year. So I'm going to try and save you as much time as possible by making this video here. So what I want to do is I want to get started by explaining this historical event for you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about as to what happened in 1884, that is the gold rush. And quite frankly, there's a gold rush happening right now. It's just a digital gold rush that not a lot of people are jumping on. But what ended up happening back in 1884 was a lot of people were trying to dig for gold, right? They were trying to dig for that one shiny thing that was going to change the trajectory of their entire lives. And quite frankly, I can compare that to today's day and age where people are trying to build agencies. They're still trying to build drop shipping, and that is the gold. But you're being misled, right? Because the people that actually guaranteed success and actually became wealthy were the people that provided this bad boy here, right? Which are the shovels. So if you're a beginner, you need to start learning how to sell shovels because that's going to be your ticket in and that's going to make you 100 grand a year. So why is Instagram the modern day gold rush? Why is it being taken place there? Well, there's a ton of reasons that I can honestly dive into, but just a couple of reasons is because Instagram allows you to build a brand. It allows you to communicate with an audience. It allows you to pay for attention. And honestly, the list keeps going on and on. And the last point that I made there was attention. That's going to be your bread and butter, right? Because where attention goes, money flows and it follows. And you need to figure out how you can access this little circle here so you can make your $100,000 a year. And quite frankly, again, there are millions of businesses that are populating every single day on Instagram. You just don't even know it. And I don't blame you because you might be in this small bubble where even making 5 grand a month is a little far-fetched, but you just need to stop thinking that way. And one of the ways that you do that is surrounding yourself with people that think higher level than you. And I'm not going to dive into that into this video, but I just want to tell you, like, that's the truth. There's businesses all over the world, all over the internet that are making 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 every single month. And they all need shovels. They all need you to provide shovels for them. Except you don't even need to provide them with multiple shovels, right? In 1884, somebody needed to have this entire lot of shovels to be able to provide for everybody that was trying to dig for gold. Except in this case, all we're trying to do is make 100,000 a year, and we can use one shovel to get us there. And I'm going to explain to you how you can actually do that. So this little graph essentially shows what a business kind of goes through, how they get to this million a month or a million a year mark, right? Because ultimately that's where we want to get somebody so we can make our 100,000 a year. So that is our shovel. That is our shovel, and that is qualified calls. We need to be able to provide that with them so we can get paid in return and essentially be that middleman like I was talking about here. And the reason why business owners can't just magically create qualified calls on their own is because it takes away all of the above here. It takes away time from them. It takes away just the ability to be able to do other things. It takes away their focus. It takes away their attention from things that move the business further. And this is honestly it, right? This is how we can help them recover all of these assets that are really important to business owners and get them to that $1 million a year mark as fast as humanly possible. And what you want to do here to make this offer, quote unquote, as fruitful to them as possible is you want to reverse the risk. Instead of telling them right off the bat as a beginner, hey, pay me $8,000 a month, I'll get you to $1 million a year. I mean, that's a hard sell to make, especially if you have no experience. But if you reverse the risk and you tell them, pay me when cash is collected, and only if cash is collected. If I don't help you actually get results, you're not going to pay me anything. And honestly, it's a win-win for both parties because number one, it incentivizes you to do the work necessary to actually get them to that point. And number two, I mean, they don't have to pay you unless you help them make money, right? And it's a win-win situation, right? This person is making 80 grand a month and you on this side are making 10% of that, which is 8K a month, which will eventually get you to that 100K a year mark. And, if you're wondering like, why am I only getting, 10%? You have to remember you still are a beginner. There's levels to this. And so if you have no leverage, it's a really hard sell for you to just tell them to pay you X amount per month without actually having the results to back it up. Okay. So from then on, if you make 8K every single month, you end up getting to that 100K a year mark. You are what I like to call a high ticket qualifier. And I am coining this term because, to be honest, that is the only thing I was doing back when I was in the position that I was in. I was just qualifying people. People were already in this pond for me to just pick from, and I was just getting them onto a calendar. That's literally all I was doing. And the only thing I was doing in between that entire process is I was just qualifying, I was asking questions, and then just telling them, okay, cool, booking a call. That's literally all I had to do. Okay, so this is a bit of a breakdown as to what the actual business model looks like. So just as an example, the majority that I would push everyone towards would definitely be in the education space, in the online education space. So people that help people, lose weight, or maybe a B2B offer that helps other businesses scale, or, they help copywriters get more clients, whatever that might be. I will always push people towards that because there's a huge pool and a huge surge of people that are looking for help. And quite frankly, your only job is to get people who are in this section here, the middle of the funnel. And that's where there is already an existing audience of people that know, like, and trust the business that you're working alongside. And the only thing that you literally have to do is, again, qualify them, right? If you qualify them, you just see if they actually fit the criteria of the program that you're partnered with. You just move them over here to this section. And guess what? All of these people fall under the bottom of the funnel, and they eventually get taken care of. They get onboarded. And guess what? You had an opportunity to get somebody from struggling to completely changing their lives. And honestly, that's why this is my favorite industry. And again, this will only take you 4 to maybe on the rare side 6 hours a day, like on the high side, right? That was really all I was working, which is really cool. And I was really enjoying life, to be honest. Like, I was really at the peak of everything. I was spending time with my family. As long as I was getting results, I had nothing to worry about. So here is the math that you want to consider when trying to find this high ticket qualifying position. Because again, like appointment setting, honestly, I don't even like using that term anymore because appointment setting isn't really that fun. Mainly because of the fact that you're just working your ass off for very little return. And these opportunities are the ones that have you calling a bunch of people. They have you reaching out to a bunch of strangers, trying to convince them to join the program where they have nothing, they don't want anything to do with that program or the business as a whole, right? They didn't follow that page. They're not in the ecosystem. And that's why I'm no longer going to be using that, appointment setting term, because that's what I think about when I hear appointment setting. But when I think about high ticket qualifying, you're literally doing this. This is your math as a high ticket qualifier. So on an $8,000 offer, you're making 10%, which is $800. Cool. So if I move somebody over to a calendar, I have them book in, they end up closing, I get paid $100 because of the DM conversation that I had with this individual. Okay. Now, just, to make things easier here, in order for me to make 100 grand every single year, I have to essentially move 125 people into the program, or at least onto the calendar, and then they eventually get moved into the program. And out of 125 people throughout the entire year, I just have to move 10 people onto a calendar in order to make 100 grand a year. And honestly, like, that's on the small side, right? When I was in this position, we were onboarding maybe 12, 15, maybe even 20 people in a single month. And honestly, again, like, there's more opportunity there to actually exceed that level. So again, these are what the actual numbers look like. And it's really not complicated as long as you understand leverage, you understand positioning, and you really know what to look out for to find this high ticket qualifying position that I'm talking about. And I'm going to draw what the actual breakdown looks like in terms of the actual workload. So what you end up having is, again, a bunch of people in this pond that are already aware of what the actual product is, right? This is a pond, just imagine it is. And quite frankly, what you're doing is you're just fishing and you're moving people over to this exclusive club, right? And you don't have to do any of the selling. The only thing you're doing is you're just talking with these people, having them book a call, and that will lead to commission. Very simple. The reason why it's so simple is, again, because all of the foundations are laid out for you. You don't have to go and build a business. You don't have to build a product. You don't have to serve the clients. You don't have to take sales calls. You don't have to do anything. And the only thing you're really doing here is just bridging the gap between somebody being worth $0 and somebody being worth $5,000 or more, right? An $8,000 offer, a $10,000 offer, whatever that might be. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you guys thought about the visual breakdowns. I tried my absolute best to make it make sense. And I'll be honest, you can do all of this completely on your own. It's probably going to take you anywhere between a year to 2 years to actually get into a position where you have this much leverage. But instead, if you're somebody that wants to just get started immediately, you'd rather just get trained, get put into a position where you can start making those commissions, then click the link down below, check out the video, and book in a call with myself. And I can tell you and show you exactly how we can get you in a position like that in as little as 90 days or less. So if that sounds like you, I look forward to speaking with you. I'm really excited to show you the exact custom plan that will be made for your specific situation. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.